Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. A bit of a glitch on the stream there. Well, Tom used the word gremlin to describe Connor Garland, and then we had a little gremlin in our system there. But thanks for bearing with us. Koob scrambling fast to get us back online here. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Okay, so Tom, yeah, look, we know the storyline. We know there's history between these two teams, so we don't think anything's going to go off crazy tonight. An Oilers team that has not lost 3 consecutive games in regulation time since the quote-unquote disaster at the start of the season. So that's one thing they're trying to avoid tonight. A team that's been pretty mature for the most part in sort of handling the ups and downs of the season. What was the sense you kind of got at the morning skate, or at the optional morning skate, I guess?
Yeah, the optional morning skate. And like my rant about not expecting anything to happen, it comes from what I've seen and heard from these two teams today and yesterday too. It's like they got to play the game. They're more focused on the 2 points. The Canucks need them more than the Oilers do, but the Oilers want them to keep chase in the Pacific Division. So I think it's more business as usual as opposed to what we would like to see in terms of it being amped up. Like the guys that had the most egregious fouls in that game are out. So I think it's going to be two teams fighting for points. They don't like each other necessarily. That's fine. I'd like to see some physicality. I don't think we're going to get that kind of living up to the billing. But the Oilers have been really good at nipping these situations in the bud. This is their first situation where they've lost 2 in a row in regulation since November. And then Riedrich, like you were talking about, the only 3-game losing streak in regulation they've had this year was those first 3 games of the year.
All right, Tom, thanks so much for doing this. What do you have coming up on the Oil Stream pregame show?
We've got Irf Gaffar coming up. He's going to be great. I think he's with Canucks Army now. He does the pre- and post-game with Jeff Patterson. And then we're also going to have Matt Cassian, who makes his return. Hernan will have Hernan's going to have the question of the night, see if he comes up with something saucy. And hopefully by the time this game's over, we're talking about a huge line brawl between guys that never fight. And then it's an 8-7 final. It's wishful thinking, but dare to dream, right?
Right on, buddy. I'll see you at the rink. Have a great show. Always appreciate your time, my friend.
Thank you, boys. Dungeons and Dragons, okay? All day, every day.
All day, every day. Maybe we'll play during the intermission tonight. Just a brief little campaign. Just a skirmish mode. That is Tom Gazzola, and portions of this hour, of course, are presented by Canadian Brewhouse. Wing Wednesdays, unbeatable at the CBH, only 69 cents each, and a mountain of flavors to savor. Flavor of the month in January is passion fruit habanero. Do that wing thing every Wednesday at the Canadian Brewhouse. Yeah, Tom getting ready. Hernan's around the office here getting stuff ready as well, as we have you completely covered for the Oilers game tonight. Pre-game show at 6, and then they're on after the game for the post-game show at 7. Should we unveil the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game?
We could.
We might as well go through it. Who won it again? The Lou Dort report?
The Lou Dort report.
Okay, so the Lou Dort report is getting a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. So the Lou Dort report got it after 2 clues. Broncos was the first one. This person was the head coach and GM of the Swift Current Broncos from 2009 to 16. Tigers in the early 80s. This person played for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Islanders was the third clue. This person played for the Nanaimo Islanders in the Western Hockey League in the early 80s. Cougars was going to be the fourth clue. This person is currently the head coach and GM of the Prince George Cougars, and 1990 would have been the fifth clue. This person won the Stanley Cup with the Oilers in 1990, had an overtime goal against the Winnipeg Jets in the first round that year. Who was it?
Mark Lamb.
Mark Lamb.
Mark Lamb. What a name.
Mark Lamb.
It brought me back. I was very excited about that. Mark Lamb was a heck of a player.
He was kind of like the ultimate role player type guy.
Yeah.
He was the ultimate third line
Depth
type guy. Yeah, you're going to work, could score a little bit, wouldn't let you down. all that kind of stuff.
Now, Lou Dort did add in that he doesn't want you to feel bad about this, okay?
Oh, I don't.
Because I know, you got it. He got it real early after the second clue. So he said, he was my favorite player when I was 5 because his last name was Lamb. Guessing Lou Dort's last name is also Lamb.
Oh, neat. Okay.
And he knew he had coached the Broncos and played for Medicine Hat Tigers, so it was a lucky guess of a player that's been stuck in my brain for most of my life. And the one day that player came through was today.
Well, at least, at least he didn't get it after the first one.
Well, yeah, if he would have got that, I think that would have set you off.
That would have set me off if just from Broncos,
yeah.
they would have guessed Mark Lamb.
Would have been a hot and heavy afternoon here, folks.
But a lot of people, a few people put in the nasty chat, it's probably Swift current Broncos, not Denver Broncos. But at least it was enough that, you had to wait for the second clue. But that was pretty good because he never played for the Swift current Broncos. He was the coach and GM. He did play for the Medicine Hat Tigers. When we were first doing this, we were debating, do we go Islanders first and Tigers second? Because Kelly Rudy would have fit the bill, who was a longtime guest on my previous show, right? Because he played for the New York Islanders.
That's what you thought, yeah.
And he was a Medicine Hat Tiger. But we switched it around a little bit. But we want people to win. As much as I'm like, I don't like it, we want people to win. And at some point in the 3 hours, because we have to do it a couple times to give a sixth clue after 5:30, because we were, somebody's got to win. Let's get a giveaway clue. So that was fine. That was good. I'm glad somebody got it. Mark Lamb, 1990 Cup winner. Why not? The Super Bowl is in 17 days? There's a party at Century Casino Fort Road. They have an under $10 food and drink menu. They're going to have prizes every quarter, including tickets to the Elks home opener. You can win your tab, that kind of stuff. You can also enter to win your share of $1,000 in prizing, like slot play vouchers, table games, chips, all those types of things. They recommend you have reservations, and no cost for that, no cost for admission. The email to book your reservations, edm.centurysports@cnty.com. edm.centurysports@cnty.com. That's for the Super Bowl party at Century Casino, Fort Road. We got our game of the night. We got a little bit on what's going on with the Oil Kings as well. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
With Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The Oilers look to get back in the win column when the Canucks roll through town, and you can get set for the action alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live at 6 right here on EST. And 4 games in the NHL are just about to get underway, seeing the Canadiens facing the Red Wings, Senators and Bruins dropping the puck, the Flyers and Rangers battling before the Blue Jackets play the Hurricanes. And in football, former Fighting Irish defensive coordinator Al Golden is returning to Cincinnati for a second stint with the Bengals, this time as their defensive coordinator. Meanwhile, team president Greg Grissom and the Texans have parted ways. Staying in Texas, Trevon Diggs of the Cowboys underwent surgery to improve joint mobility in his knee with no timeline set for his return. And on the court, Toronto's on the road in Atlanta. Jimmy Butler sits for the first of his 2-game suspension with the Heat against the Bucks, while Oklahoma meets Dallas on a 9-game slate. Across the pond, Canadian Alphonso Davies suffered a UCL sprain in yesterday's Game 4 Bayern Munich, leaving in the 45th minute of that match. The severity of the sprain is unknown, with the club saying that Davies, quote, will be sidelined for the time being. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now. What?
What song is this? Just found it randomly on the floor. He just found a cassette on the floor and plugged it into the machine and played it. That's incredible, Coop.
I don't think I've ever held a cassette in my hand.
Really? Well, we're going to change that. We're going to change that.
What? I have a Van Halen cassette that I reserved for I have an old 92 Chev.
Yeah.
And it's got a tape deck.
Oh, sweet.
And I went to, the junk cellar on White Ave?
Yes.
They've got quite a selection of cassettes.
Junque. Yeah.
Junk. The junk cellar.
Yeah.
I went there and I found a collection of Van Halen cassettes, so I had to buy them all.
Oh, that's sweet.
So now I've got, what's this song? The Ice Cream Man.
Oh, that's off a Roth one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's David Lee Roth.
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't remember which album it's. I don't know the Roth catalog as well. But
what was the other? California Dreamin' they did?
Oh, nice.
Or David Lee Roth did, I think. Yeah.
He did California Girls.
California Girls
on his solo album.
That was
yeah.
It, yeah. And I have a couple. It's awesome. Cruising with that.
That's amazing.
Tape decks. It blew my kid's mind. Like, what is this? How can this play music?
Yeah, well, quite easily, actually. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. It's the River Cree Inbox, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. Email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. I have yet to receive a limerick. A little bit alarming. And, of course, in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, give us a thumbs up as well. We're going to do a word of the day, the thumbs up reset when the screen the scream went down. I can't even talk. The stream went down. I'm having trouble with my stream.
I think you're going to get today's word of the day. I think you're going to go 2 for 2.
I hope so. I like being successful.
Well, it shows, Reid. It shows.
Thank you very much. Quickly here, so we mentioned the Nanaimo Islanders as a team Mark Lamb played for. He was our Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. The Nanaimo Islanders were in the Western Hockey League for one season, 82-83. The franchise history, they were the Calgary Buffaloes. Then they were the Calgary Sentinels. Then they became the Billings Bighorns from 77 to 82. 1 year as the Nanaimo Islanders. Then they were the New Westminster Bruins from 83 to 88. Since then, they've been the Tri-City Americans. How about that?
Well, I'm looking up noted NHL alumni. Obviously, Mark Lamb, as we discovered, played there. So did Pokey Reddick. Rocky Trottier. Alfie Turcotte. All former.
Bob Rouse, I remember him.
Yeah, Bob Rouse.
Pokey Reddick. His brother, Smokey Reddick, played, I believe, for the Weyburn Red Wings in a Saskatchewan, Alberta Allen Cup playdown against the Lloyd Border Kings. 1 year I covered them. I think he was on. They also played Ile de Shane 1 year, but I think he was on Weyburn.
Wow, Pokey Reddick was born on October 6th. Well, day before me. Not the same year.
Not the same year.
No. Eldon.
Yeah,
Reid, yeah.
Eldon, yeah. What was Smokey's real name? Because Pokey was Eldon. What was Smokey's real name? I can't even remember. I don't know.
Stan.
Oh, Stan. Okay.
Makes sense.
The Big Uke has a limerick just in time. All this retribution talk starting to bore. The Oilers just need to score. CDs and cassette feel old yet. Gazdic versus Glue Guy. Bands galore. Gotta love the Uke. The Big Uke. He is a manly, molten, magma-filled, mountainous mound of magma.
That's 6.
So I might have used magma twice.
Maybe, but we're not counting.
That's
I
fine.
am 6.
It's
We'll
fine.
get to 10.
Do we have the Nanaimo Islanders logo for people watching on YouTube? Not yet, Coop. That's okay. Don't worry about it. We can get to it.
It's fantastic.
It's an interesting logo. Yeah.
I wonder where they got the idea from.
I wonder where indeed. All right.
Well, we don't even know if that's really an island, Reid.
Well, yeah, it's an island. it's Vancouver Island, isn't it?
I meant Long Island.
Oh, yes. Oh, jeez. Forgot about that. Yes, Long Island. Yeah. Who was that didn't... Was that you?
It was me.
That you didn't think Long Island was an island? Or
No,
you didn't believe me that
it's-
Manhattan was an island?
Yeah, but it's
Manhattan's
a fake
also
island.
an
Yeah,
island.
it's a fake island. I'll stick with it. You tell me it's an island all you want.
But that Manhattan is a fake island?
Yeah, it's separated by a small
Oh, the
river.
rivers aren't big enough for you.
It just doesn't satisfy my island credentials.
All right, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can look at it. If not, we'll describe it for you. Coob's about to put up the logo for the Nanaimo Islanders, which so the A has a long hockey stick coming out of it. There's a picture of Vancouver Island on it, and then it says WHL, the league on Vancouver Island.
The first thing that stuck out to me was just the disproportionate size of the stick. It is irregularly long.
That is a hefty stick. Yeah.
And no shape on the blade. Nothing.
No. And there's a puck floating in the middle of what's the water called between Vancouver and Vancouver Island? Is that Georgian Bay? No, that's the bay. What's the strait called? I don't even know that. Boy, but my Canadian geography is pretty bad. That's shameful.
Don't feel so bad.
So yeah, the Strait of Georgia. All right, that's where kind of the puck is floating. So that's good stuff.
That's an all-time logo. I would put that on a shirt.
That's a classic logo. I'm glad we got to that. I didn't know much about the Nanaimo Islanders. Oh my God, the limericks are flowing in. By that I mean I have 2. I know I have 1 more. Uncle Jesse. The Oilers emailed them to read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Oilers and Canucks take the stage, a rivalry fueled by their rage. McDavid on the shelf, Garland his rat self. It's hockey's must-watch battle cage from Uncle Jesse. That's pretty good. Here's how we expect them to line up. Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Arvidsson, Nugent-Hopkins with Janmark and Brown, Henrique with Perry and Hyman, Philp with Jeff Skinner and Kapanen, and then the 6 defensemen, Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Kulak, Emberson. Calvin Pickard will be your goaltender 0-2-1 in the regular season against Vancouver in his career. Matthias Janmark, I mean, he got to play higher up in the lineup a little bit last game as well, and I know we sometimes get comments on him. Why is Matthias Janmark playing? He has 1 goal in 47 games. He plays forward. Well, I'm glad we have you may agree or not, but here, and this was a pretty lengthy answer earlier today, Chris Knobloch talking about Matthias Janmark.
I think, not only coaching staff, I think the players have a lot of respect for him, the way he plays. I think Yanni has done everything but score goals. Outstanding defensively. He's able to get in on the forecheck, make plays, or get that puck back, breaking the puck out. He's not just a chip and chase guy. He's able to make those plays, and especially the centerman. Everybody appreciates it, but especially the centerman. And, when they're skating through the middle. They want that puck. They want a winger who can get them that. He's very good at that. I just think his overall game it benefits or it complements a lot of guys, whether it's in a checking role or in a higher role playing with more skilled players.
So that's why the coaching staff likes him. If you don't like him as a fan, that's fine. But we played the clip as to why the coaching staff likes him. Basically, he's saying he's a reliable player.
Yeah.
Who can do a little bit of everything. Though, yes, he does not score a ton. He scored more last year. Got made some big offensive plays in the playoffs. So that's why he's in. Oilers and Canucks are game of the night for Play More tables and games, from ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for. Visit Canada's game room experts. Locations in Edmonton and Calgary or online at playmoregames.ca. If only they had a theme song.
Play more tables and games.
Dustin Nielsen on the vocals. That's monumental. I love that.
I bet you our fearless leader, Dustin Nielsen, is on the road down to his hockey tournament. I'd imagine him and Marshall's team are going down there. Play more tables and games.
Are they driving today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think it gets underway tomorrow.
Okay. And so is it a hockey tournament or is it?
I believe so.
Or is it some other type of activity? Is it some other type of gathering for an activity?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Just was wondering. I didn't know for sure. All right. The Canucks, Peterson with DeBrusk and Besser, Miller with Suter and Garland, Bluger with Heinen and Sherwood. The Sherwood's kind of a antagonist out there too, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Sasson with Hoaglander and DiGiuseppe, Quinn Hughes with Friedman, Soucy with Hronik, Forbert with the former Oiler Vinny Desharnais, Demko in net. D-Rock says Philp gets his first goal tonight. That'd be awesome. I predicted it was going to happen 2 weeks ago. Now, I didn't predict it that day. I predicted it before the season. What did I do? My unlikely or my all too early?
No, they were extremely
the overly specific Oilers predictions. Yes, that was the one. I remember my other one was, I think I said the Oilers' power play percentage would be like 32.7 or something. Probably won't happen. And then my other one was that Connor Brown would get his 20th goal of the season as the overtime winner in the final game of the regular season. How many goals does Connor Brown have? Where is he? He only has 6. He's going to have to pick up the pace.
I think mine were that the Oilers were going to sweep the Flames. Well, that's not
going to happen.
That Victor Arvidsson was going to have a career year. That's not happening.
Unlikely.
Well, I guess I can't say it's not going to happen.
He'd have to really pick up the pace.
He'd have to probably score multiple goals
pretty much every game.
I forget what my third one was, but
one of mine was. Didn't I say there'd be a 100-point defenseman this year? That'd either be Hughes, McCarr, or Bouchard.
Yes,
that's not going to happen either. But we were doing stuff for fun before the season. It's one of those predictions you forget about them if you're wrong, and then if you're right, hey, look what I said.
Could you? Yeah, I mean, so you don't think that there's going to be a 100-point scorer for a defenseman?
Well, we're not anywhere near on pace for that, are we?
Let's find out.
And it wouldn't be one of those 3 guys, because isn't Werenski leading the defense scoring?
McCarr's got 53.
Okay, so he might have an outside shot at it. We're past the halfway point. Okay, no, it's possible.
It's attainable. It's doable.
Wouldn't it be? And actually, Hughes missed some games. Wouldn't it be something if Werenski got it, and not one of those other 3 guys? Shea Theodore's up there this year, Morrissey, but there'd be a stretch to make it. So McCarr would need 47 points in 32 games. That would be tough. But he is over a point a game. Hughes has the best points per game, but he missed some time, right? He missed, 5 games. So anyway, yeah, I'm probably not going to get that one. So our game of the night for Play More tables and games, on top of obviously the Oilers game, I'm going to identify a couple. I like to look around the NHL. A lot of games tonight. I'll say the Golden Knights and the Blues, because if the Oilers won and the Blues won in regulation time, Edmonton would be alone in first place in the Pacific Division. The Oilers have been tied before. currently a point behind Vegas. I'll also identify Canadiens, Red Wings, and I guess along with Senators, Bruins, because the three teams tied for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference are the Senators, Canadiens, and Bruins. When you apply all the tiebreakers, it's Ottawa, then Montreal, and then Boston. So Columbus won last night, jumped over those teams into the first wild card spot. Ottawa, Montreal, Boston, all with 52 points. And as I said, all playing tonight. Ottawa and Boston playing each other, and Montreal and Detroit playing each other. Both games scoreless in the first 5 minutes. So those will be my games of the night for Play More Tables and Games.
Yeah, we were looking at that earlier. The Eastern Conference is going to be a delight to watch how that unfolds. I mean, there's really not that much separation. From 6th to 11? 6th to 10th?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting coming down the pipe. I like the Celtics are at in LA tonight. That's always a good color matchup.
Oh, is it Celtics Lakers or Celtics Clippers?
Celtics Lakers.
Oh, classic rivalry.
They played the Clippers last night. But just checking in on the greatest player to ever play basketball, LeBron, making sure he's holding
Michael
up.
Jordan's playing tonight?
Oh, Reid. I can't take it anymore.
All right. Yeah. Well, I will probably not watch that one. Is my chair audible on air? It's a really noisy chair, eh?
Try again.
I don't think you can hear that on
I don't
air.
think so. I can hear it, but I don't think. Yeah, you know that Colorado Jets game was not available anywhere unless you were in Winnipeg.
No, yeah, it was a TSN game. That's
frustrating.
I watched Columbus Leafs probably the last half, and then I only saw the first period of Kings Panthers, which was my game of the night last night. Anyway, we are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Oilers Canucks coming up tonight, 6 o'clock. We got the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom and Hernan. We're still going to get to our word of the day, and we'll let you know a little bit what's going on with the Oil Kings. It's Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
Kelvin Pickard gets a start in the Oilers-Canucks rematch with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas previewing the action live during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 right here on EST. And right now in the NHL, just one game has a goal, seeing the Flyers up 1-0 on the Rangers. Meanwhile, the Senators are challenging the Bruins. The Canadiens and Red Wings are on the ice, and the Blue Jackets are facing the Hurricanes, having all of those games scoreless in the first. And down south, the Bengals have hired Notre Dame's Al Golden as their newest defensive coordinator, with Golden previously coaching for the Bengals through the 2020 and 2021 seasons as their linebackers coach. And Trevon Diggs of the Cowboys also underwent surgery on his left knee to improve joint mobility, with no timeline for his return just yet. In the association, it's the Trailblazers up 10-9 on the Magic midway through the first quarter before the Raptors take on the Hawks, and the Mavericks tip off with the Thunder on a 9-game NBA slate. In soccer, Edmontonian Alphonso Davies sprained his UCL, with his club Bayern Munich saying that Davies, quote, will be sidelined for the time being. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. On the other side of the break, the Reid Wilkins Show continues. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences. Plus, all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom. And from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for two at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. Hope you'll be settled in by 7 o'clock tonight to take in the Oilers and the Canucks. Thanks for letting us help you get ready for the game and discuss this showdown between the Canucks and the Oilers. The discussion will continue at 6 o'clock with the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. We have the ESTV fired up. What do we got? Philly and the Rangers on here?
Coming up, yeah.
All right, good stuff. So what's our consensus for the off-topic topic for William Huff? We asked the Nasties their favorite Our Lady Peace song as Clumsily was released on this day in 1997. That's the same year McDavid was born. He's not clumsy. Well, when he cross-checks someone, maybe.
Where do you think, okay, this is an interesting question. Where do you think I guess we'd have to do this different, but where do you think Our Lady Peace ranks in the pantheon of Canadian bands?
Oh, that's a good question. I've never thought about that.
Well, let's dive into it. We must, because this is a historic day for the band Our Lady Peace. I mean, that was that kicked off a major.
I've struggled.
Who's number one?
The Guess Who?
Really? You would put the Guess Who over the Hip?
Oh, the Hip. Oh, yeah, the Hip. I guess would be number one.
Okay, so we're just
I struggle with this sort of stuff. Honeymoon Suite, Glass Tiger, Harlequin. They wouldn't be up there with Our Lady Peace.
What about Rush?
Oh, Rush would be high. Yeah,
Rush has got to
probably
be
Rush and Tragically Hip would be in the top 5. OLP would probably be in the top 5.
ELO.
Who?
ELO.
I don't know who that is. Scoop.
Electric Light Orchestra.
They're not in the top 5.
Who's ELO?
Who's ELO?
Is this? Are you serious?
Yeah, ELO. Yeah, Electric Light Orchestra.
Electric Light.
There's something that came to mind. Just any Canadian rock band?
They're from Birmingham, England.
Oh, what? Oh, I always thought they were okay. Oh, that's fine.
Okay, so what kind of music is this?
Rock?
Rock.
Yes.
Huh. We're going to have to get some Electric Light Orchestra on the show.
Bangers.
I just Googled it. Nickelback, some of the other ones that would be listed: April Wine.
Oh, yeah.
BTO, Arcade Fire, Tea Party, 5440. Like I would say, because you have to include bands that were big. That I always factor in longevity, and then I factor in were you popular internationally. So, I mean, I think you'd have to say the Hip, Rush, Guess Who.
You'd have to put Nickelback in.
Nickelback and Our Lady Peace. I mean, Loverboy was not as big as Our Lady Peace. There's a lot of good bands here, or bands that had good stuff.
What about your favorite, Shania Twain?
She's not a band. We're doing bands.
She had a band?
Okay, then Bryan Adams. We're not doing Canadian musical acts. We're doing bands.
Gordon Lightfoot.
All right.
The Zit Remedy. Wasn't the Zit Remedy the band from what was the old with Joey and Wheels? Remember Joey was the lead singer or the guitarist for the Zit Remedy?
What was that?
What was the show with Wheels and Drake? When they redid it, Drake was acting in it.
Degrassi Junior High?
Degrassi Junior High.
I never watched it.
The Zit Remedy was the band.
I'm sorry, I never actually watched it.
Huh. You
I'm
never
sorry.
watched Degrassi?
No, I didn't.
Was it by
Some
choice?
stuff I did? Yes, by choice. I don't know. It never appealed to me.
I thought that would be right in your Wheels house.
Oh, jeez. I was living it. I didn't need to watch it.
Out in the hard streets of Evansburg.
The hard streets of Evansburg. Going to the arcade after school to play track and field with my 4 quarters. Not even be able to qualify on the 100 meters. I've changed. All right. So that would be our top 5 Canadian band in no particular order. Guess Who, Our Lady Peace, Nickelback, Tragically Hip, and Rush. I would think that would be a pretty good list. We're maybe forgetting something. Maybe there's country acts we're not thinking of.
I don't know, like Canadian country acts. I mean, what about Blue Rodeo?
Yeah, Blue Rodeo would be good. I don't know if they'd be a top 5er. I guess Arcade, would you include Arcade Fire? I mean, they've had international success, have they not?
Good. They're pretty good. The problem is, when you're ever putting these lists together, the newer the band, the less qualified they seem to be.
The Arkells, they're good. Have they had the career of some of the other ones I've listed? Probably not. Sum 41 just played Rogers Place. Bare Naked Ladies.
Billy Talent?
Sloan.
Billy Talent, sure.
That's a band, not a guy. I used to think it was a guy named Billy Talent.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Ugh.
Very popular.
Yeah.
They were pretty big for a while.
Not in this house. The band? The band.
Oh, there's the band called The Band.
Wasn't that Robbie Robertson was the lead singer?
Oh, were they Canadian?
Yeah. Robbie Robertson was Canadian. I don't know if all the members were, but one of the piano player and the drummer just passed away.
Oh, really?
Just, I believe, yesterday.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah.
Got a limerick here from Hula Boy Steve. Playing Vancouver with Pickard in net, down by 2 in the first period, I'd bet. If the Oilers don't wake, they won't overtake the first in the West Winnipeg Jets. Pretty good. Good rhyming scheme, good pacing. That was good. Maybe not as humorous as some limericks could be. Bit pessimistic about the Oilers tonight, but still a good limerick by Hula Boy Steve. Thank you for that. All right. So what was the consensus best Our Lady Peace song? Starseed? Just from what we got coming in?
No, Naveed.
Naveed, I've had a Starseed. Okay.
Yeah. Starseed was definitely up there. But I lost all the
because we have to start a new stream there.
Tommy Voro says Big Sugar. You Big Sugar guy?
No.
Sugar's really good. The only song everybody knows is Digging a Hole.
Right. So you'd have to have more than 1 or 2 songs that people know.
They do, but it wasn't that big. But I guess there you go, right?
Yeah, that's why you got to factor longevity into it. And I think popularity outside of Canada.
It's fair.
Yeah. But no, fun suggestions.
Reid.
Yes.
Mark Andrews, tight end for the Baltimore
So we
Ravens.
didn't talk about this much, but we could talk about it today. Like Monday was so much McDavid stuff. That was, I mean, I always feel a little bad for a guy who drops a catch he usually catches. He's had a great career. He put out, and he also had a fumble in that game, right?
Yeah,
that was costly.
2 very costly plays.
This is the Ravens tight end. Now I can't find his statement here. So Mark Andrews of the Ravens, finally, I guess if you want to look at it, they put out a statement after the drop. So what I'm just trying to get it here. It's impossible to adequately express how I feel. I'm absolutely gutted by what happened on Sunday. I'm devastated for my teammates, my coaches, and Ravens fans. Goes on to say how hard it works, and he's shocked and disappointed, but he said, I'm not going to let the situation define me. He said there's been negativity, but he's also got a love and encouragement. I guess a lot of Bills fans have been donating to his charity. First of all, he dropped a pass. I think there was some hatred directed at him by Ravens fans, but I think most fans were disappointed, but you probably get over it. Tucker missed a kick against the Patriots a few years ago in the playoffs, and didn't he get...
Yeah, it's hard to comment entirely because we're not in that market, so you don't see what the tone is down there. But by the sounds of his statement, it was pretty personal, pretty deep,
right?
And I guess is this okay? I know your answer, but would you ever publicly shame a professional athlete or go out of your way to tweet about how terrible this play, like personally attacking a player?
No, like
right?
that's a line for me, especially as a broadcaster. I think evaluating someone's performance, saying they made a mistake in a key moment, talking about why or what could have happened, I think that's fair. You don't go after someone. Making a bad play in a game does not make you a bad human being. And I don't like it when people do that. I certainly don't like it when people in the media do that, because then I think it kind of tarnishes everybody. Mark Andrews, hey, he was in a tough moment. He didn't make the play. I think that's fair to talk about. I think it's fair to talk about the play call or what happened or why didn't he catch it, or was he off balance, or was the ball slippery, or was it a proper throw, or what? And by the way, he did not cost the Ravens the game. He cost them a tie game with still about a minute left, in which case Buffalo could have gone down and won anyway. He cost them an opportunity to stay alive in the game. It was obviously very costly, but sometimes things get blown out of proportion or the facts get misconstrued. Oh, he cost the Ravens the game. No, he didn't. If there was no time on the clock and they were down a point and he dropped the 2-point convert, okay, he cost them the game. In that moment, a bunch of other things happened in the game. The human side of me, there's the sports side of me where you talk about it and you analyze it. The human side of me thinks the guy, nobody feels worse than him.
Well,
nobody feels worse than him.
And he didn't talk after the game. So that's also what fueled a bit of this passion from the fans.
Right.
Was he pieced out from the locker room, didn't address the media. Reid, and obviously this has been a profession of yours for a longer time, so I have to give you the torch on this one. But is that something that as a member of the media for as long as you've been, that you would find somewhat disrespectful if a player who had a notable bad game, didn't Stu Skinner do something like this last year in the playoffs when he had a bad game? He didn't talk to the media after and then addressed it the following week. I seem to recall something like that.
Yeah, well, I can't remember when it was. But yeah, he didn't talk after a game, and then the next day he said, I should have been available. My preference would be that if a player's involved in a key play in the game, that he speaks after the game.
Right.
Because that helps the full story be told, and his reaction or what he says about the play is part of the story for that game. Now, again, I'm not in Baltimore. I don't know how they handle their media stuff or if or what he said, why he wasn't available. Usually with the Oilers, if you request somebody after a game, they'll be made available. And then I think you just move on from it as quickly as possible. I mean, that's one that helped them get eliminated from the playoffs. It was part of the reason they got eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, now again, I don't know how the Ravens handle stuff. I'm sure he was told that the media wanted to talk to him.
To me, that speaks
but he's
a lot.
also maybe he felt like I can't win. I'm not going to be able to express myself. It's a little.
Well, the human element comes into it there, where this is a player that feels as though they lost for the entire city,
the entire fan base.
Yeah, and is wearing that on his shoulders in this instance. I don't have as much problem. The thing is that if you don't come out and say and talk to the members of the media, well, they might just go and create their own story as well, albeit not complete because they haven't heard from the source. But now to see him issuing this and seeing what he's gone through, I just don't like that. I don't like that a player has to come out and make a post apologizing. It's a game. And it really puts things in perspective when you see that of a player who is a superstar in the NFL. Now he's not no spring chicken anymore, and this has been an issue that has chased him around in playoffs before.
And but this is another thing about the age that we're in. A player has a Twitter account where he doesn't need the team or a reporter to record his comments. He can just come out and say it on his own. Again, as someone who's covered sports for a long time, I would prefer to get it right after the game.
Sure.
Now, I try to think about his side of it, maybe in that situation. I'm sure he felt embarrassed. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's going to cry. Maybe he doesn't want to do that publicly. Maybe he just needed some time. If this happened in an Oilers situation and a player who made a huge season-ending gaffe wasn't available after the game, then I would hope he would be available the next day. And then if he wasn't, then I would probably say something professionally to the media relations staff, probably along with a lot of my colleagues. I would say, look, you can't just, but here's the thing, is you can't just roll them out when something good happened. Right?
Oh, 100%.
Have I told that? I don't know if I've told it on this show, but Don Horwood, who was great for promoting U of A basketball, I can't remember. I think I remember who the player was, but I can't remember for sure, so I won't say the player. But I know this happened. The Golden Bears were having a good season. They had a big regular season game against another team. They had this star player who was getting a lot of attention. And he came out and he stunk, and the Bears lost, and there were the local TV cameras and media there, and they wanted to talk to him. And Horwood went back and said, hey, you got to do post. And he said, no, I'm not doing it. I played awful. I'm not talking. And legend has it that Horwood said to him, sounds good. When you have a 40-point game, I will tell the media you're not available. And he went out and did the interview.
Wow. Yeah, it is a part of professional sports. I mean, you have to be able to take the good with the bad. Just an interesting, I guess, development there from Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would have. I think I would hope he did something right after the game. If not, then he did it the next day or on their garbage bag day. To me, it's a little odd he waited until 4 days after. But again, I'm sure he feels bad. So. But I do think fans want to hear from them. I mean, we know how interested people are. I mean, yesterday, McDavid spoke about the suspension. We played the key audio clips, and was there was some interesting stuff in there. It wasn't extremely earth-shattering, but you still need reaction from the person involved.
Sure.
Like as a talk show host, we tell stories and we speculate and we joke around, but there are still important things that need to be said or the people that need to be heard from. And I would sooner hear it from that person, right? To say, well, maybe that's why we played the Knobloch on Janmark, because we get a lot of questions. Why do they play Janmark so much? Okay, Knobloch said it. As I said to people, you don't have to agree with the head coach, but we presented to you the head coach's thought process. For clarity. So in that situation, I'd like to hear, hey, Mark, even if he says what happened on the play, and if he just comes out and says, I flat out dropped it and I feel terrible, okay, but at least you hear it from him.
Fair enough.
But I mean, I'm not sitting here upset about it. You asked me, and that's how I feel.
No, I think your opinion
I'm
is
furious
needed.
that a Baltimore Raven acted this way.
Well, it's more just, you doing this professionally and seeing that happen as a professional athlete, what your opinion was.
Oilers and Canucks tonight at 7. Oil Kings coming up with some games as well. We're going to get a little bit of their storylines too. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get to the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Back in a couple minutes.
The Oilers and Canucks face off with Calvin Pickard getting the start for Edmonton, and you can catch Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they tee up the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tune in at 6, only on EST. And right now, the Canadians trail 1-0 against the Red Wings. The Blue Jackets have the only 2 goals in their game with the Hurricanes, while the Rangers lead 2-1 on the Flyers with just about 5 minutes left in the first. For all of those games, later Utah meets Minnesota. The Golden Knights drop the puck against the Blues, while the Sabres and Flames duke it out. And in basketball, the Magic are up 3 points on the Trailblazers at the end of the first quarter. After that, the Raptors tip off with the Hawks. The Heat take on the Bucks, while the Nuggets and Kings throw it down, seeing 9 games around the association. Across the pond, Canadian Alphonso Davies has suffered a UCL sprain from yesterday's game, for Bayern Munich having no return date set. As his club said, quote, he's sidelined for the time being. In baseball, Derrickson, Profar, and the Braves have agreed to a 3-year deal worth a total of $42 million. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They sell doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got some plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc today. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf, oh sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Oilers game coming up at 7. Whenever you contact us by texting 780-218-9999, you are using the River Cree inbox, River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sundays. We also want to update what's going on with the Edmonton Oil Kings. They have home games Friday and Sunday. Kevin Radomski is the Oil Kings Director of Business Operations. Kevin, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing? You might be muted, or your mic
You're
not
there?
be. There you are.
There we go. I changed it. How are you guys? Good to see you.
Yes, thanks for hopping on. First of all, and we've had several of your players on. You've been on. It's a good season for the Oil Kings. You've crept up in the standings. Zachary, the last time that you guys played, 7-0 win in Moose Jaw. They're here on Friday night. Now, what is going on Friday night besides a great hockey game against the Warriors?
Like, if you know anything about the Oil Kings, it's all about the entertainment. And to your point, Reid, there's going to be three thrilling periods of hockey on the ice. It's going to be great. Junior hockey, nothing like it. If that wasn't enough, if you were on the fence and you're like, I was looking for a little bit more, we're going to have 5 indie wrestling matches emanating from a ring on our stage with Love Pro Wrestling Friday night. So you're going to walk in. Our doors tomorrow night open at 6 o'clock. The first match is at 6:05. Titles are on the line. Titles will be on the line. Lives will be changed. There's going to be wrestling. You're going to walk in the door, clotheslines, suplexes, body slams, and then we're going to take the ice for the warm-up. We're going to have another match. We're going to take the ice, play the first period, matches in the intermission, play the second period, matches in the second intermission, bananas. 5 matches of independent wrestling with Love Pro Wrestling and 3 periods of hockey tomorrow night.
Okay, so that's Moose Jaw tomorrow at 7. Lethbridge is here Sunday at 6, so a good weekend for fans to check out the Oil Kings, oilkings.ca for the full schedule. Are you guys doing a sock drive too?
Absolutely. And if that wasn't enough, we're also helping our friends at the Operation Friendship Senior Society, and they look after the vulnerable people in our community, and we're doing a sock drive. I couldn't imagine, like, we know the cold weather is going to be coming yet again. I couldn't imagine not having a pair of socks. So we've asked our fans, our goal is to collect 1,000 pairs of socks for Operation Friendship Senior Society. Anyone that brings a sock donation either on Friday or on Sunday, we'll give you a pair of tickets, a voucher for a pair of tickets to our February 8th game, Saturday, February 8th game, Louis' birthday bash. And we're going to be giving away 1,000 Louis bobbleheads on that game. So we're not giving you some midweek snoozer. We're going to give you tickets to a great Oil King game. One good turn deserves another. And, like, honestly, who doesn't love a good pair of socks? Like, we need to help our friends in this community. And the Operation Friendship Senior Society is looking after those who need some help.
Yeah, which is great that the Oil Kings do this. And I want to emphasize, Kevin, and I know you know this, but I want to say it. When I say the Oil Kings do this, your players, I mean, school and hockey schedule permitting, but they will go. Like, I know I've covered things where it's like, no, we're actually here doing this, serving a meal or bringing. So that's the great thing too. This is not just you doing this, and the players take ownership in being an Oil King, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we promised to develop them on the ice. So we're going to help their skill set reach that next level. But just as important, they have to be committed to the scholastic achievement, whether they're in high school, whether they're in post-secondary, be it university or what have you. And the third pillar that we honestly take very seriously is the commitment to community. And we're lucky to play at Rogers Place. We're lucky to play here at Edmonton. We're lucky that our fans support us the way they do. And our players love. Like last year when we were delivering the socks, I drive an F-150. I had 2 F-150s full of socks. And our players were unloading them at Operation Friendship Senior Society last year. And to your point, Reid, that's exactly what it is. These are young men. They're trying to take that next step in whatever their hockey career looks like. But their commitment to community, and many of them don't live here, but they sure embrace our community, and we're so lucky that they do.
All right, so the wrestling tomorrow, which will be awesome, and then is it the family fun stuff on Sunday too for the Lethbridge game?
Yeah, so if you haven't been to a Sunday game, our game time is a special time, 6 o'clock on Sunday, but we're going to have the family carnival zone set up. So what that means is if you come into Rogers Place, there's an area just for the kids. It's included. It's no extra charge. We're talking face painters, balloon artists, bouncy castles, obstacle mazes. And then after the game, we have an autograph opportunity with our players that come up on the concourse because it's junior hockey. They'll sign whatever you want signed, and it's great. Our fans love it. And our players love it. They look forward to it every Sunday.
Okay, oilkings.ca. The full schedule is there. These home games, Friday at 7, Sunday at 6. Like I was saying, there's very likely going to be playoff games this year, too. I know we're getting a little bit ahead of myself, but that's extra fun and more promotion for you and your crew to work on. Thanks for hopping on. I know it's busy. I don't know if y'all see you at the rink tonight or not, but I'll see you around soon.
Thanks so much, Reid. Jay, great talking to you. But thanks, guys. Thanks for the support.
Kevin Radomski, Director of Business Operations for the Oil Kings. A very energetic guy. He and his staff do a great job. The hockey ops people have done a great job. Business ops, great. The wrestling, just a little cherry on top. That's going to be fun. That'll be a fun scene tomorrow night. All right. We have to do, we're in the final 4 minutes here. Word of the day.
Well, I had two ready to go. Do you want the hard one or the easy one?
Hard one.
Okay. Word of the day. Grandiloquence. Grandiloquence.
Oh, my God. Okay. I'm going to say grandiloquence.
Grandiloquence.
Grandiloquence. Is that the Price is Right song?
You were close. Grandiloquence.
Oh, wow. I was that close, eh?
You were very close.
What does this possibly mean?
This is a noun.
It's a noun. So this person had grandiloquence, or this
it's a formal word.
It's a formal word, meaning that everybody was dressed in formal. It's a form of formal attire.
Wow. Very close. Grandiloquence is a formal word that refers to the use of extravagantly colorful or pompous language, often in order to sound impressive and important.
Oh, wow. So his whenever he met with the Queen, he made sure to use grandiloquence.
He was known for the flowery grandiloquence of his speeches, which, his passionate delivery notwithstanding, always caused more than a few listeners to doze off.
That's incredible. Okay, give me the other one, too. I know we're rushing a little bit, but we got to go soon.
Wanderlust. Wanderlust.
Oh, I should know this one. Wanderlust. The desire to travel or go beyond your current environment. Yes.
Wanderlust refers to a strong desire to travel. During their final semester at college, the two friends were both filled with an insatiable wanderlust and began planning a journey to Patagonia.
Yeah, that's really it. Kind of is the lust to wander in some way, but to travel.
Some would say it's an easy one.
Yeah, that was an easy one. I did okay.
You did very good considering the time pressure and the time constraints.
I really did.
That clock turned off.
Oh, we did. One of our clocks here in the studio to help us know what time it is has turned off.
I feel naked.
Well, thankfully, you don't look naked. All right. Who will be exposed tonight at Rogers Place? No McDavid, no Myers, as the Oilers try to snap a 2-game losing streak. The Canucks coming off a loss to the Buffalo Sabres. We're going to take about a 4-minute break on the stream, 4 or 5 minutes, and then you'll have Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show to set up the game. I'm going to head over to Rogers Place. I'll be watching this one from the press box. Great work today by Zachary Kubusch, our technical producer and sports update deliverer. He's Jay Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. Take care, everybody.